Annyeonghaseyo, this is meowmurai. Let's continue our game of Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition running on Nintendo Switch. Ah, that's right. We can do the regular mission now. Let's see. Complete Chapter 6. Obtain a skill license. That's right. We need to get the license.
Unbelievable.
Speaking from Blade.
What mission am I even on? Find and return the lost key card to the designated location at the designated time to receive a reward of 100,000 credits. Acquire the missing key card from somewhere in New LA. Okay. get that skill license.
Working hard out there?
Hey there, are you settling in alright? Getting used to life as a blade? Yes. Excellent, glad to hear it. I know you've been through the damn ringer lately, but you're still doing good work. Anything to ask me about? Any worries or requests? No need to hold back. I'm in a good mood today, so your head will probably stay on your shoulders. It's only natural for a commander to want to keep tabs on his people, right? So come on, lay it on me. Let's talk about skills. Oh yeah? That's right, I forgot you didn't have one. Wait, you don't even have a skill license, do you? Whoops, sorry about that. Oversight on my part. You need a license to pilot a skill, see? We only issue them to blades with a proven track record. That way we know they have the skill to make use of them. Given your track record, I'm tempted to issue one right now, but it ain't standard operating procedure. Wouldn't be fair to the others, you know? But clear the exam license and it's all yours. First the exam from Pathfinders, Interceptors, Harriers, Reclaimers, Curators, Prospectors, Outfitters, Mediators. Once you get your 8 certifications done, go tell Walter in the hangars. Then once you pass the final exam, you'll officially be a Skell pilot. Pretty exciting, yeah? Ha! Sure it is. But getting you in a Skell will be good news for us blades too. I got high hopes for you. Good luck. I should have all of these done. Oh, guess not. Well, who's number 2?
Nothing.
My forte, but it's consistent.
Yes. Now tackle it up close. There's no substitute for real combat.
Nice work.
Attack from range. Follow me. All or nothing. Right. This'll work.
Where are the rest of them? Supposed to be a bunch here.
hole in you. Now let's go find an opponent that's worth our time.
Good work. The expedition continues.
You will remember the day
They're
you
all
fought.
Stack
them with
you
a
however
melee.
I can.
This will knock them off balance.
Shadow strike.
Move in and do some damage.
Shadow runner.
All or nothing. There's no substitute for real combat.
Hope I didn't get in the way.
Strike first. Strike hard.
Watch shadow slash. Please have the range now if I were you.
Yeah.
There's no substitute for real combat.
An exemplary battle.
Attack from range.
That's right.
Move in and do some damage.
Moving it forward.
There's no substitute for real combat.
An exemplary battle.
Strike first. Strike hard.
Watch shadow strike. Hang it down. Weaken them and lay in.
Right. This'll work.
Side slash. Slide.
Move in and keep the rhythm going.
Seems we've been found out. What now?
Lay down some fire for me.
I'm punching a hole in you.
Move in and keep the rhythm going.
Got it. Let's pack some more punch.
You can do it.
A doppelganger is all or nothing.
Upper hand. That
Starfall. Face the next. Got it. Let's pack some more punch. Right. This'll work.
Yeah. That's a big problem.
Where are these targets? Supposed to be here.
I come, sunshine.
Engaging.
I'll assist you
Lay down
however I
fire
can.
for me.
I've got your cover fire.
Move in and
Shadow.
keep the rhythm going.
Watch me lay you on.
Now let's go find an opponent that's worth our time.
Let's keep it up.
Here I come, sunshine.
Let's see what you've got.
Ask questions later.
Now, my turn.
Fire. Backslash.
Now let's go find an opponent that's worth our time.
Nice work.
You will remember the day you
Engaging.
fought.
Lay down some fire for me.
I'm punching a hole in you.
Now focus on weakening them. I think there's more.
Use an aura. Get control of the battle.
Don't give them time to breathe.
Switch to close range combat.
Don't give them time to breathe. Now let's go find an opponent that's worth our time.
Hope I didn't get in the way.
Yeah, it's a real mystery. Like, they were really the only ones to make a game like this on the Wii U. Nobody else could do it. And with the Switch, you know, they did it 3 times, right? Because they made the Xenoblade Chronicles, all 3 of them, on the system.
Attack from range. Follow me.
So yeah, pretty amazing group. Hopefully, hopefully Nintendo never lets go of them.
Follow with a real bone crusher.
Though it seems like their working relationship is really good. And Monolith works on all sorts of internal projects all across Nintendo's games, besides their own games that they develop.
Yes. Now tackle it up close.
Moving it wide. Focus on weakening them.
Shooting star.
I'm off balance.
It'll be fun to see what they do with the Switch 2. I'm sure whatever it is, it'll be the best looking game on the system. Outside of that sequel to Fast. That also might be, you know, next level stuff.
All or nothing.
Move in and keep the rhythm going.
Appreciate help.
Got it. Let's pack some more fun.
Melee attack.
All or nothing. Yes. Now tackle it up close. Astral protection.
Hit him again for me. Blast.
Shadow strike.
Yeah, really. I mean, they are basically Nintendo. I mean, they have independence, you know,
I'm punching a
but
hole.
really they're just another Nintendo team.
Use an aura. Get control of the battle.
Appreciate help.
Don't give them time to breathe.
Let's regroup.
Yeah, and I think basically any really big project, or even really small project, they have a hand in.
Nice. Depends if perhaps you can
Yeah, because like you're saying, they had a hand in Zelda's, but lots of other Nintendo games too. I think Monolith was just happy that a publisher doesn't always try to screw them. they were going from Square to Namco, and you know, granted they were not as proficient as they were when they went to Nintendo. You know, that was their learning period. You know, with Xenogears, then Xenosaga, and it seems like they just hit their stride with Xenoblade. But yeah, you still see Namco use Cosmos here and there for cameos. And, you know, they weren't particularly supportive of Monolith when they were making the Xenosagas. So, it's sort of insulting that they still use the character here and there. It's like, you didn't want us making games for you, but you still want our characters. That's awful nice. Yeah, it's my understanding that they're helping with Donkey Kong too. So it's just like I said, basically anything that Nintendo has a problem with that's a large-scale game. I mean, they're fixing it, or they're helping out. Sort of like how Retro also, you know, they have this invisible hand. Nintendo's always making them, or I don't know, making them, but having them help out with other teams and their games. All we can do is hope that Nintendo treats them well and that they're happy, you know, to continue to work with them. We don't want like another, like, you know, Clover or Platinum Studios thing going on. Where it's like all the good talent leaves. Or even with Sega themselves, you know. I mean, Sega lost a lot of people. But then they kept all the crappy people making Sonic games. So get rid of those people. Yeah, like I'm sure they helped with the new Mario Kart too. It just seems like a not Nintendo thing to have a big open world like that. Like that's not really the thing that they do. So I would guess that Monolith or Retro helped them out with that, or maybe both. Because I think I saw some Monolith credits for Mario too. Oh, this is the most convoluted way to get to this place. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they help with the pipelines. I mean, they're like really the core technology group, or one of them. You know, EAD being the more recognized name, but you know, Monolith actually has experience making, you know, very, very, very large environments off of, you know, systems with little to no resources. I mean, if we think back to the Halo days, right, with Bungie doing Halo, I mean, they had a ton of resources on that old system, on the old original Xbox. So it's like not really that much of an achievement to make Halo or to make Morrowind on the original Xbox, you know? Monolith kind of reminds me of like the old Rare, in that they just managed to squeeze out some really good power off of nothing. And, you know, I mean, you could nitpick this game's textures and its draw distance. I mean, it's not perfect by any means, but it is very, very impressive. Yeah, not the Rare of nowadays. The Rare nowadays is, you know, a shadow of its former self. Well, I guess Sea of Thieves is good, I guess. I don't know, not really my kind of game. Yeah, the artwork's always great. Just really the imagination. Just thinking about what an alien world looks like. You know, how creatures work and their design. You know, why they have the different parts that they do and why they move the way they do. It's all really difficult stuff. Get the examination weapon from the taller in Division Drive in the administrative district. No, that's not working. I'm working on this one. Gather 3 bag flea squashes in Oblivia. Huh? Flea squash. Oh, Factor 5? Yeah, that was Factor 5. I think in that case Sony screwed them, if I remember right. Or no, sorry, LucasArts screwed them. It was Psygnosis that Sony screwed. And Ready at Dawn. But yeah, I think LucasArts basically screwed them with the Star Wars games and the Indiana Jones that they were going to work on. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to believe. Like, a lot of these game companies that we kind of grew up with, you know, we grew up with their games. I mean, they just ended up folding. For one reason or another, you know. I mean, maybe it's not so black and white what happened, but Whatever did really happen wasn't so good. It was a bad set of circumstances. You know, I'm not 100% sure. Usually I would just wait for that Matt McMuscles guy to do a documentary on that stuff.
It didn't have to be like this.
We should weaken them just to be safe. Fire, fire, fire!
Yeah, nothing's really changed. But it does seem like game companies are getting too big. Like they're not able to manage the kind of workload and the kind of teams. Not able to be agile enough. I mean, I hate kind of using that word, but it's just what we use to describe it nowadays.
Destroyed. Move in and strike.
All or nothing.
Yeah, I mean, some people tend to think that you know, a game like Baldur's Gate 3 or Clear Obscure are like going to change the game industry, right? But those are just two developers making two different games, and the game industry is not changing. It is pretty much staying the same, and it's going to be crushed by its own weight. If it already isn't kind of on its way there. There's no way they can keep surviving with what they do.
Appendage destroyed. Move in and strike.
Yeah, I mean, they left Ubisoft because they couldn't make that game, right? They were stuck, you know, working on Assassin's Creed and all the other junk stuff that Ubisoft has in their catalog, you know, Far Cry, right? Although Far Cry is fun in a kind of broken way.
Let's pack some more fire. All or nothing. Yes. Now tackle it up close.
Yeah, just like EA, EA just has their teams working on, you know, they're having the teams working on Battlefield, and having the teams work on Need for Speed, you know.
Move in and do some damage.
All or nothing.
You know, all of Criterion's games have just all been Need for Speed franchises. You know, just imagine if that team could just be let loose just a little bit and make another Burnout.
Let's pack some more fire.
But nope, they gotta be roped into, you know, EA's endlessly failing franchises and try to save them.
Quick support strength combat. Move in and do some damage.
All or nothing.
Yeah, sometimes companies just get too big, you know? I mean, especially in a creative endeavor. I mean, games are about a lot of creativity and about a lot of risk. You know, there's no such thing as a sure thing in games. I mean, look at all these industry darlings, you know. Look at Bungie, that people have like a weird fondness for, even though they really haven't proven themselves very well. Right, they actually have a terrible track record over the last couple of years. And yet there's like a weird, like they kind of get a weird pass. I mean, I think people will finally wake up once once their new iteration of Marathon comes out. I think people will finally go, oh, these guys aren't that good. Why have we been worshipping them?
All right.
Greetings. You must be the one undergoing the scale license examination. I work with the outfitters in product testing. I have 3 weapons for you today. You'll use one of them to hunt indigens. Remote weapon usage monitoring is a crucial source of data for arms manufacturers. Your cooperation in this process is most appreciated. Let's see. Trial knife, trial assault rifle, or trial sword. What kind of things can I use right now? Yeah, I don't know how small the teams are for Octopath, though. I think they said it was expensive to make those games. But the Dragon Quest games, I mean, those had to have been a smaller team. But yeah, I mean, you are right. They do have like incredibly large releases, and then, things that are much smaller in scale. But I also think they're up and down in the in their financial situation too. Like when they screw up on their main Final Fantasy games, that really screws their entire product line. I mean, they sold their non-Japanese development houses. They let go of Tomb Raider and what else? I can't remember the name of the other franchise, but it was a Cyberpunk franchise. Yeah, there we go, Deus Ex. And granted, the last Deus Ex wasn't as good as the one before it, but it also wasn't bad. Like, I can't say that I hated the game. It just ran like garbage when it first came out. Yeah, I think that team used to be called Looking Glass Studios. I forget the name, what they named themselves after that, but I think that team was also like too big because it seemed like they had a lot of trouble keeping their budget in check. Yeah, I mean, I think Cyberpunk is probably the closest thing to Deus Ex. Although, you know, they're vastly different games, but they kind of have the same approach to them. You know, sort of that, you know, immersive sim
I'm not gonna make it.
approach.
Attack from range. Follow me. Rising blade. All or nothing.
Screen independent destroyed. Move in and strike.
All or nothing.
Shadow strike.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, they're not the exact same thing. Deus Ex is a deeper series, right? And it's more about
I'm ready to unload.
giving you lots of choices on how to do stuff. Not that Cyberpunk doesn't do that too. It just does it in a very different way.
Rising blade.
Upper hand. Fire fireball. Slide down. Melee attacks.
All or nothing.
Side slash.
Cyberpunk just wants to show you some android titties, you know.
Good to go.
Tornado blade.
It's the main focus of Cyberpunk, really,
Blade.
at the end of the day.
Body and soul.
There's no substitute for real combat.
Nice work.
I think it's so funny that so many games out there, they try to give you those romance options. But it's like a bunch of nerds that wrote the romance plot, so there's like nothing romantic about any of the romance options. Like if you approached any relationship like you do in Cyberpunk or Dragon Age, I mean, you would just be a lonely boy. Deus Ex is like, no romance. You're like half android. What the hell do you care about romance? I actually do want to play that last Deus Ex. I really want to give it a fair shake. Because when it first came out, it just ran like garbage. On PC at least. I'm sure it's fine now. Although that Deus Ex that was on, the Human Revolution, the one that was on 360 and PlayStation 3, I mean, it's hard to beat that. That really was a top tier game.
Attack from range. Follow me.
Shadow strike.
Give them time to breathe. I'm ready to unload on them.
Got him! Lay down three knives!
Hey, hey, hi, hi, hi. No, okay. The spot is not comfortable apparently. Commander Van Dam told me you'd be stopping by to take the skill license exam. Do you have your certificates from the 8 proficiency exams? Yep, looks like full set. Nice work. We're ready for the final exam. No need to stress though, it's a simple verbal quiz. We had you run missions for each of the 8 divisions and there's a reason for that. Care to guess what it might be? Say that it was to better understand the role each division plays within Blade. Exactly. Now that you've got a feel for each one's particular flavor, hopefully that's given you a few ideas on how you can put a skill to use. Anyway, that's one reason, but there's another. There aren't exactly enough skills to go around all of the divisions. Sometimes situations arise where people have to cross division lines and cooperate to get things done. For efficiency's sake, it's important that everyone knows how their other divisions work. Make sense? Yeah. Good. Then you are now cleared to own and operate a skill. I'll authorize your license now. I also get to share some good news. Looks like you're being given a free skill. Compliments of Van Dam. It's parked in the hangar in the back. Go introduce yourself and give it a test ride. Thank you. Just doing my job, really. Van Dam is the one you should be thanking. He must expect big things from you. It's a rare day a rookie pilot gets issued a skill free of charge. Look forward to see what you will do with it. Your main character ass shot there. Very important. Or hip shot? I don't know. The S is in there. Scales are powerful armored vehicles developed by humanity. Press ZL to board or disembark. You can also press R3 to toggle between walker and vehicle modes. Piloting one expands your options for exploring Mira, not to mention for battle. However, scales aren't able to target certain enemies' appendages, so go on foot if you need to destroy those. Also, bear in mind that your art selection while in scale depends on the weapons it has equipped, so changing your weapon loadout will also change the arts you have access to. If you ever stray too far from your scale, remember you can go to the main menu, party, return to scale to immediately return to its cockpit. You can obtain new scales by buying them from the shop terminal or by creating them. Check the scales you own from the customization center. When you're piloting a scale in combat and a large enemy becomes staggered, you can approach them and press ZL and ZR to bind them. A bound enemy will be held in place for a certain duration, ensuring that all attacks against them will hit, increasing the damage they take. Additionally, while binding an enemy, purple circles will appear one after another. Press B at the correct time to extend the effect's duration and quickly regenerate fuel. Just like when you're on foot, you can spend 3,000 GP while piloting a scale to activate overdrive. While it's active, fuel will not be consumed, and the cockpit time will trigger more often. Additionally, a scale's capabilities will be greatly enhanced during overdrive, but the exact perks differ from scale to scale. Scales have a limited supply of fuel, and will not be able to fight when fuel runs out. Fuel is consumed in battle or when using arts, but will slowly regenerate while you're not piloting the scale. You can also refuel your scales by spending uranium. To do this, use the barracks hangar option in the customization center console. When a scale is destroyed due to its HP dropping to 0, normally it will become unusable and then and there, but you can get it fixed if you have scale insurance. In that situation, you'll be able to get back into your scale, retrieved and repaired by going to the Blade Barracks Customization Center and Barracks Hangar. If a scale is destroyed while you have no scale insurance remaining, and even if you succeed perfectly in the end, in the red prompt, you'll have to either spend a large sum of money or use a salvage ticket to get it retrieved and repaired. Registering pilots, welcome to the club, skilled pilot. Before you hop into the cockpit, you'll need to assign yourself to the machine. Once that's out of the way, your craft will be sent to the barracks hangar, bound via the customization center console. Remember this when you want to use a new scale. Register pilot, customization center, barracks hangar, select scale, register pilot. Great, they just made this game, which is already very complicated, even more complicated. Barracks Hangar. Access via the customization center in the Blade Barracks. Use this menu to register pilots and to outfit and refuel your scales. You can even change your machine's paint jobs. Alright, well, now I have to go buy 3 other skells. Because when we get into a big ass fight, you don't want to just have one skell flipping around while everybody else is on foot. And one of the, I think the next boss fight or the fight after, or the boss fight after this is handled in skells. So they're just hoping that, you know, you didn't blow all your money doing everything else in this game. Scale frames are divided into light, medium, and heavy types, each with its own broad range of scale models that differ in a variety of ways. Light type, low HP, but with good accuracy, evasion, and mobility. Their fuel tanks are small, but they get good mileage in flight. Low prices make them attractive to first-time buyers. Medium, balanced in all regards and easy to handle. Comes with sturdy armor plating on its parts, making them tough to break. Slightly pricier, good for experienced pilots. Heavy type, high HP and defense, and a large fuel tank, but not very nimble in combat, and burns through fuel quickly in flight. Costs a lot, but with features to compensate. Let's see, appendage regen, range weapon attack up, and this is time regen, appendage regen, takes less damage, debuff immunity. This one's more like Lynn, huh? So the character was registered as pilot. This is kind of the bummer, is having to go and like specifically assign which character gets which skill. That basically means you should probably commit to just one set of characters at this point in the adventure. Now the hard part's figuring out who's going to be the 4th. I mean, I do have to buy a skill for them, whoever they are. I mean, I think basically it's going to be L. since he's like the funniest character. But that being said, it could also be Neil now or Arena. I think they're both pretty good. I think Bose was pretty good. Hope is terrible. Or, I don't know, maybe we have to do more upgrades for her, but yeah, boy, she was always dying. There's also Alexa. So, like I said, you know, it's hard to decide. But you definitely need 4, unfortunately. Which means you're burning a lot of money. See, range, 2 times deflect. So this is a defensive model and this is an offensive model. Absorbs fuel with melee. And there's a matter of the weapons. What do I have right now? A sidearm. I don't know if I have anything. I have the SHM R32 Assault or the Rod. Guess we'll leave it for now. Alright, so we finally have a skull. Well, we have 4 skulls. So why don't we stop it there for now. This is meowmurai. You've been watching Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition running on Nintendo Switch. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.